Peacemaker is back, but instead of diving straight into action, Season 2 opens with a mix of surreal sci-fi and personal struggle. Episode 1 uses alternate realities, government surveillance, and messy personal choices to explore what's really going on in Peacemaker's head. In this breakdown, we'll look at how the episode reflects his trauma, his search for identity, and the ways his past keeps catching up with him. The recap puts a special focus on the opening title card with previously in the DCU, intentionally making sure that we know everything referenced and shown is indeed part of the new DC canon under James Gunn. Originally in Peacemaker's first season, Zack Snyder's Justice League arrived too late after the day was already saved. However, this new DCU canon-approved recap replaces the League with the Justice Gang, along with David Cornsweet's Superman and Millie Alcock's Supergirl.
It's late, you fucking dickheads.
What a meathead.
Screw that guy. You know he tells people I'm a puke freak?
In Peacemaker Season 2's brand new opening dance number, Michael Rooker can be seen among the entire performing cast. While he doesn't make a full debut in the premiere, we know Rooker will be playing an eagle hunter named Red St. Wild, having been described as Eagly's Lex Luthor. Peacemaker is guided by Eagly into a hidden space in his home, the quantum area. Inside, there are doors that lead to alternate versions of reality. When he opens one, he finds his father, Augie, alive and welcoming him as if nothing had ever happened. Instead of staying, Peacemaker quickly leaves and returns to the quantum area. The quantum area can be seen as a physical version of his inner conflict. No matter what's happening in his life, the doors to his past are always there, waiting to be opened. It reinforces the idea that moving forward for Peacemaker isn't about ignoring what happened, but eventually confronting it. 6 months have passed since the events of Season 1, and Peacemaker is still trying to figure out where he fits. He stays in touch with his old team, but it's clear he feels isolated. On the surface, he's alive and free, but he doesn't feel like he's moved forward. Hoping to change that, he applies to join the Justice Gang, a superhero group that would give him the recognition he craves. Instead of a chance at redemption, he's rejected almost immediately because of his violent past.
It says here you served time for first-degree murder,
Yes, that's true.
and that you have killed dozens of other people.
Most of those are for good reasons.
And which ones weren't?
Excuse me?
Which people did you murder not for good reasons?
This moment shows Peacemaker's ongoing struggle with identity. He wants people to see him as more than just a killer, but his reputation makes that almost impossible. The rejection reinforces the idea that no matter how much he wants to be a hero, the world still defines him by his worst actions. The 6-month time jump also matters. Even with distance from the chaos of Season 1, Peacemaker hasn't really grown. He's still chasing external approval instead of building self-worth. His application to the Justice Gang symbolizes his need for validation. He doesn't just want to be a hero, he wants others to call him one. But redemption isn't something that can be given. It has to be earned, and this scene makes it clear he still has a long way to go. Harcourt's story picks up with her trying to rebuild her life after Season 1. She applies for work with different government agencies, but instead of being valued for her skills, she's turned down. The reason given is that her psychiatrist labeled her with toxic masculinity.
What? I have a fucking vagina.
I assumed.
How could I have toxic masculinity?
Later at a bar, Harcourt gets into a fight with several men. At first, she's able to hold her own, showing her combat training and toughness. But eventually, she's outnumbered, overpowered, and thrown out of the bar. Harcourt's arc mirrors Peacemaker's in many ways. Just like him, she's being punished for traits that once made her useful. In her case, her strength and blunt personality are now treated as flaws. The label of toxic masculinity becomes symbolic of how society can twist someone's traits against them. The bar fight reflects her larger struggle. She starts out strong, but her individual toughness isn't enough to change her situation. Being thrown out shows that no matter how capable she is, the world around her still rejects her. Like Peacemaker, she's stuck on the outside, a fighter with no place to belong. When Peacemaker returns home, his frustration and loneliness spill over. He throws a wild party filled with drugs, sex, and chaos. It looks like he's trying to enjoy himself, but it feels more like he's numbing the emptiness he feels. During this state, he drifts back into the quantum area, pulled once again into alternate realities instead of dealing with his real life. This moment shows how Peacemaker deals with his pain by distracting himself. The drugs, partying, and over-the-top behavior aren't signs of freedom, but of avoidance. He's using excess to cover up the fact that he feels unfulfilled and rejected. The timing of his return to the quantum area is important. It happens when he's at his weakest, under the influence, and not in control. While monitoring Peacemaker's house, Economos notices a glitch in the system, something unusual that hints at the presence of the quantum area. He reports it, and Argus agent Sasha Bordeaux takes the matter up the chain to Rick Flag Sr., who immediately makes it a priority 1 case. His reaction is less about the glitch itself and more about Peacemaker. Flag Sr. still carries deep resentment over the death of his son, Rick Flag Jr., during the events of the Suicide Squad. This subplot ties directly into the idea that the past can't be escaped. Just like the quantum doors keep dragging Peacemaker back to his unresolved trauma, the real world keeps forcing him to answer for his past choices. Flag Sr.'s involvement also symbolizes judgment. Even if Peacemaker wants to move forward, some people will always see him as the man who killed a hero. Economos' discovery shows how closely Peacemaker is being watched, reinforcing the idea that redemption isn't only an internal struggle. It's also about living in a world that doesn't forgive or forget. Peacemaker enters another door in the quantum area and finds himself in a reality where both his father and his brother are alive. In this universe, they even work together as a superhero team. To complicate things further, Harcourt also exists here as Peacemaker's ex. For a brief moment, it seems like the life he's always wanted: family, connection, and recognition. He spends time with them, drinks with his brother, and even sees Harcourt in a personal context, which highlights what he's missing in his reality.
Don't take that's bad. The next morning I was eating my Cheerios and there's something sticky in there. I think one of those little fuckers jacked off in there or something.
No,
Yeah.
no, that didn't happen. I don't remember that part. That's the famous Augie embellishment right there.
Yeah, it's your fault. You gotta love that boy.
Uh-huh.
This alternate universe represents wish fulfillment. It's a way for Peacemaker to explore the life he thinks he should have, one where his family isn't lost and he is accepted. The scene also highlights the tension between desire and consequence. Even though Peacemaker gets a glimpse of what he wants, these doors don't solve his problems. They show him what's missing in his life while underlining that he can't escape his mistakes or the people he's lost. In that sense, these alternate worlds reflect both longing and limitation, emphasizing that personal growth can't come from avoiding reality. In the same alternate universe, Peacemaker is suddenly confronted by another version of himself. This doppelganger is more aggressive, reckless, and violent. Basically, everything Peacemaker fears he is or could become. They engage in a brutal fight. Eventually, Peacemaker gains the upper hand by activating the doppelganger's jetpack, which impales him in the ceiling. As the double dies, Peacemaker holds him in his arms, a moment that is tense but also reflective. The doppelganger represents Peacemaker's darker side. Defeating the double is symbolic of Peacemaker trying to confront and control that side of himself. However, the act of holding him as he dies shows that Peacemaker isn't fully ready to let go. It's a reminder that personal change doesn't happen instantly, and that pieces of who he is, even the negative ones, are still a part of him. Episode 1 of Peacemaker Season 2 mixes action, humor, and sci-fi in a way that highlights the main character's struggles. The quantum area and alternate universes show Peacemaker what his life could be like, but also force him to confront his past, his choices, and his identity. Harcourt's story runs parallel, showing that even strength and skill aren't always enough when the world judges you. The episode makes it clear that growth and redemption aren't easy. They require facing reality, dealing with consequences, and learning from mistakes. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.